Several injured in 100-car pileup on Icy Overpass in China. US and South Korea fly warplanes after North Korea's missile test. Spanish apartment block fire causes at least 5 dead and 14 missing. Eiffel Tower in Paris set to reopen after 6-day strike. Container ship knocks out section of China Bridge and killing 2. China plans to send San Diego Zoo more pandas this year.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Monday, February 26th, and here are your top stories. State media reported Friday that more than 100 cars crashed into each other on an icy overpass in the China's city of Suzhou, injuring several people as extreme cold and snow continued to disrupt travel across China. Suzhou Industrial Park Traffic Police said on their official WeChat account, the accident happened around 7 a.m. Thursday local time as the sun was coming up. 3 people were hospitalized for their injuries, while 6 others were in less serious condition. Officials said in a statement, adding that the road had been reopened and an investigation was underway.
Footage shared on social media showed a variety of cars caught in the pileup, with one angled high into the air, on a road with visible signs of melting ice. Southern and central China have been experiencing widespread cold snaps, freezing rain and heavy snowfall, leading to disruptions in transportation during the Lunar New Year, the nation's most important holiday, when millions of people travel home. The Chinese government said Wednesday that it was stepping up rescue efforts, using all forces in the region to prepare for sudden and dangerous disasters caused by the cold weather. The China Meteorological Administration also issued icy road warnings in most central and southern cities.
South Korea's Air Force said South Korea and the United States flew advanced stealth fighters in a joint missile interception drill Friday over the Korean peninsula, in apparent response to a spate of weapons tests this year by rival North Korea. North Korea has conducted 6 rounds of missile tests so far this year, most of them reportedly involving cruise missiles that typically fly at a low altitude to overcome opponents' missiles defenses. Analysts say that in the event of a conflict, North Korea aims to use cruise missiles to strike U.S. aircraft carrier as well as U.S. military bases in Japan.
South Korea's Air Force said in a statement the drill on Friday involved 5th-generation stealth F-35A fighter jets from both countries and other fighter jets from South Korea. It said the U.S. F-35As were deployed in South Korea on Wednesday from Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan. North Korea has ramped up its weapons tests since 2022 in what experts call an attempt to increase its leverage in future diplomacy. South Korea and the U.S. have responded by expanding their military exercise SAND, a trilateral training involving Japan. According to South Korea's foreign ministry, on the sidelines of a G20 meeting in Rio de Janeiro on Thursday, the top diplomats from South Korea, the U.S. and Japan agreed to strengthen their joint response capability against North Korea's evolving nuclear threats and coordinate to block the North's financing of its nuclear program.
Firefighters were searching on Friday for 14 people still missing after a huge fire ripped through an apartment block in the Spanish city of Valencia, killing at least 5 people and injuring 15. According to witnesses, the blaze, fanned by strong winds, engulfed the block within half an hour on Thursday evening. An insurance expert said it may have spread so fast due to the use of a plastic material on the facade, a comment evoking memories of the deadly Grenfell Tower fire in London in 2017. Firefighters with masks and oxygen tanks worked their way through the charred building looking for bodies or survivors.
Dental experts headed to Valencia from other parts of Spain to help identify charred bodies, while police collected DNA samples from relatives for the same purpose. Visiting the scene on Friday, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said residents had lost everything in a matter of minutes in this terrible fire. Valencia has decreed 3 days of mourning, cancelled local football matches and suspended the start of the city's month-long, annual Fallas festival, which features the torching of large cardboard statues and a firework display. Valencia's mayor, Maria José Catalá, said 131 temporary homes were being prepared for residents, and a regional official said they would receive money for daily costs and rent.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris was expected to reopen to visitors on Sunday after 6 days of closure due to strikes. Workers first worked out on Monday in a dispute over the way the tower was managed. Its operators said a deal was reached with unions on Saturday. It is the second such strike at the iconic landmark in the last 3 months. As Paris looks ahead to hosting the 2024 Olympic Games this summer, SATE apologized to ticket holders and said they would be reimbursed for bookings impacted by the action, which resulted in the loss of some 100,000 admissions.
Strikers have also expressed concern over the state of the monument, which Le Monde reported had not been repainted for 14 years, rather than the usual 7, with other repair work falling behind schedule. This week's strike was first planned to take place across 5 days, but CGT on Friday announced that staff had voted to extend the strike to Saturday after rejecting SET's initial proposal. The Eiffel Tower last closed on 27 December as workers launched a protest to mark the centenary of the death of the tower's creator, Gustave Eiffel. Eiffel, a civil engineer, made his name building bridges and viaducts for the French railway network. However, he was best known for the tower, which was designed to show off France's modern industrial prowess on a world stage, as the centerpiece of the 1889 Paris Exposition, our World's Fair.
2 people are dead after a massive container ship crashed into a bridge south of the city of Guangzhou in southern China early Thursday, causing a section of the roadway to come crashing down along with vehicles. 3 people are missing and 2 have been rescued. According to a statement from the Guangzhou city government's Nanshan district, 1 person from the ship sustained light injuries. Authorities said the incident happened around 5 a.m. Thursday. 3 cars, a bus, and a scooter fell off the Liexingsan Bridge.
2 of the cars fell into the water, and the other 3 vehicles fell onto the empty ship. Rescue workers are still on the scene and an investigation into the cause of the crash has been started. According to local media, authorities have detained the owner of the ship. The Liexingsan Bridge crosses a waterway near the mouth of the Pearl River, inland from Hong Kong. According to the World Shipping Council, the area is one of China's biggest manufacturing and transport hubs and contains 2 of the world's 5 busiest ports. China's state-run broadcaster CCTV said there were plans to build collision guards around some of the bridge's pillars in 2022, but they have been repeatedly pushed back.
China plans to send a new pair of giant pandas to the San Diego Zoo, renewing its long-standing gesture of friendship toward the United States after nearly all the iconic bears on loan to U.S. zoos were returned as relations began to sour between the 2 nations. San Diego Zoo officials told the Associated Press that if all permits and other requirements are approved, 2 bears, a male and a female, are expected to arrive as early as the end of summer, about 5 years after the zoo sent its last pandas back to China.
In November, Chinese President Xi Jinping raised hopes his country would start sending pandas to the U.S. again after he and President Joe Biden convened in Northern California for their first face-to-face meeting in a year and pledged to try to reduce tensions. Owen, an expert in panda behavior who has worked in San Diego and China, said, China is considering a pair that includes a female descendant of Bai Yun and Gao Gao, 2 of the zoo's former residents. The black and white bears have long been the symbol of the U.S.-China friendship since Beijing gifted a pair of pandas to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., in 1972, ahead of the normalization of bilateral relations. China later loaned pandas to zoos to help breed cubs and boost the population.
The answer for yesterday was C, cruelty. Britain had laws against cruelty to animals, but none to protect children. Now let's delve into the news of China plans to send San Diego Zoo more pandas this year. Number 1, long-standing. 长期存在由来已久的. They are now on the brink of resolving their long-standing dispute over money. Number 2, iconic. 图示的, 偶像的, 符号的. Murphy's powerfully spoken Oedipus is an autocrat of iconic grandeur. Number 3, pledge. 保证给予或做, 正式承诺. The government pledged their support for the plan. Next, we have a multiple-choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.